Alright, I'm gonna kind of cycle this through with a lot of different effects with the music playing.
Monkey bread. Take 3.
That's weird. Why did it just, that should not happen. I tried to change colors and it broke out of the sequence. That's the one I like.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from BBC One, from the Royal.
This was a one-take wonder. Just me and Joe. He came over with this idea. He wrote the lyrics while he's playing on the snare drum while he was playing with me jamming the rhythm. And one take we recorded it. Our punk rock anthem, Kill the Queen. Supposedly at the Queen's birthday celebration. The original plan was that he had other tracks to it, other instruments, the bass line and whatnot. And he loved that one take. That was it. He wouldn't. And there's another version later on of the band playing it. It's like, it's not as good as the two of us. This is strange. It's weird. Some of these don't even seem to work. Little honky tonk woman. These are the 6 paintings, portraits I'm working on right now. From top left is Beth. She was a bartender at Shakespeare's. Painted a couple of, this is the first, I took this photograph of her. She just started working there maybe a month or two, 2001 I believe. Next to her is Rachel, she's a local resident. Jen is to the right. She was a bartender at Dublin Underground. Bottom left is Mary Kay, my best friend from college. Best woman friend I've ever had in my life by far. Next to her is Danielle, another local resident. And on the bottom right is Stephanie Sullivan from Urbandale High School, the class of 1980. Best friends with Sue and Emily in high school. It's hard to believe she's our age and how beautiful she's blossomed as an adult. Right? All these recordings is I produced all that. I had my basement set up, the drums. That's all mic'd and recorded live using just a 4-track recorder. So I was piggybacking on the fly, which is a technical term for on a 4-track you would record 3 instruments or 3 tracks and then mix those 3 together onto the 4th, and then you go back and re-record 2 more tracks and then mix those 2 with the original one from the original 3. Then you got 5 tracks in one. Again, you basically go back and forth, and you can keep reusing. You can't go back and remix, of course, but you got to make your final decisions when you piggyback. Now I learned all that stuff too when I was in my early, 1920, when I was at Ponderosa. Guys from Norwalk, Sherry and Keith, came to work. And they had their own band since high school, and they asked me to be their sound guy. And I never did any kind of a gig with them because I guess they weren't happy with the fact that they were so tight and perfect. I didn't know what to do. The knobs and dials I'd be pushing would be messing with the sound that I couldn't imagine changing, much less how I could make it better. So I think I was then much more of a producer than a sound man, because once I heard, something had sounded exactly right, I knew enough not to mess with it. And I always have. Same with the painting, getting to the point where you know it's time to quit, because if there's not something that's standing out that doesn't, you keep looking at it because it isn't right, it isn't like the rest of it, then it's time to stop meddling, because you'll only make it worse from there. Still learning that. But then I'm completely untrained. I would be called if I was doing this in the world of science, I would be considered a member of the lunatic fringe. But you're allowed to be an autodidact, self-taught rather, in the world of art. Nobody cares if you taught yourself to play guitar as opposed to having had someone else teach you. I think it's kind of the opposite. If you taught yourself, you're probably a lot more likely to do something significant with a guitar than having been pushed through the cookie cutter. That's Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame drummer Joe Sharpnack on vocals as well.